Welcome back. In this video we will complete this chat process. We will read all of the messages sent from my side and sent from the other user. So we'll display all of the messages and it will work like WhatsApp chat. So let's get started. First of all, just create two designs. For that I'm going to go to drawable resource file. We can design our rows of recycler view the way we wanted to design them. So I'm going to create a design for the message for sender, background sender or background right. The message which sender will send will be at the right side of the screen, so that's why I'm going to design a background for the right message. So let's have a shape here and just add the shape attribute and just add it a rectangle here. We need a rectangle, and inside this rectangle we need to have its corners, and corners radius is going to be 10 dp. And another thing I want to have is a color. So for the right message there should be a color of primary, the green color. But you might have seen that the message which we sent have one edge. On one side there is edge and on the other side there is a oval kind of shapes. For that I'm going to just make it top left radius 0 dp. So now it will apply 0 dp at the top left side here, but I think I have done it reverse. Let me make it top right radius. So this is the design of one message that the sender will send. Okay, so now I'm going to design the same for the left one. Just copy this design here at the inside drawable folder and copy it and paste it over. Just rename it to left and just make this left. Perfect. So we have successfully designed both backgrounds, but this is having some kind of v24 here. I don't know what it is. It's actually for one variant 24 plus, but why it is appending it here? Refactor, rename, cancel. Okay, so now we need to just create two layouts. I mean the rows we want for our recycler view. So we will have two rows, the one for right side and the second one for left side. Chat row right. Okay, I'm just going to have another constraint layout inside, make it 300 dp and its height is going to be wrap content. Inside this I'm going to have a text view, and this constraint layout should be appended at the right side of it. We go to design part and just append it like this and make it 8 dp. and from above 2dp. Perfect. So now we have this inside our text. Let me add some text. Message, and increase its text size 18 sp. And I'm going to add my background style and just append this text view. And just add some padding for this one. Search for padding and add padding. Just add padding, let's say 5 dp, and just add the background here. Background right, and just change the text color to white. Let's just apply this background to the text view. Think it will look nicer now. No, it isn't. Okay, so when it will run, it will compile this up and maybe it will look good. So now we need to just copy this whole stuff, and or the other way is to just copy chat row, right, and just paste it over and rename it to left. Okay, and go to this constraint layout and just remove the right constraint from it, this one, and just append it to the left side, and the text view also just append it to left side. Make it 8dp and just change its background to be left. Perfect. So what now we need to do is create an adapter for this one. So I'm going to just copy the user adapter and paste it inside this adapter and rename it like it is for chat. So I'm going to make it chat adapter. So we have everything what we had in the previous user adapter, but there is a difference in this one. So we need to make those changes, and the first change is that it is going to be chat array list of type message, and here also it is going to be of type message. Just rename it to message. here we need to make it of type message. Let's make it chat. We will just change it, but let me make this one we don't need click listener in this case, so I'm going to remove this. So we have one thing, but I think I left one thing in the chat row. For the left one we need to have another image, circle image view, that will look nicer. The receiver image view should be here, so it should be 40 dp maybe, will look good, and its height should be 40 dp, and I'm going to add an src compat and make it app src compat equals, and I'm going to set it to @mipmap so just go to drawable and IC launcher. I think I have, oh, the wrong was the spelling of this src. Okay, so it is going to be drawable /IC launcher foreground, and I'm going to append this one. Let's just remove these two, these constraints from it, and add these constraints to this one. Just change this to src, and I need to add constraints to this circle image view, so I'm going to do that. Perfect. So if I get here, it's alright. Oh, I have to give these to circle image view. So if I go to circle image view, then give it the constraints, and then go to text view and just drag it towards the right side, and now attach it with the image view. And make it 10 dp margin from here. This background is not working here. I don't know, maybe the code isn't compiled, so let me just get over here, but it will not look good here because it will go to the whole 300 dp. So we can change that by just making it wrap content, and we will deal with it later on. And text view background needs to be color primary. Okay, so that's right. If I go to chat right, and I need to do the same, but let's go with it and we'll see it in action, then we can change it later on. So now go to the chat adapter, and here we need to change some things, like, and one thing I missed is the same image view should be inside chat right also, but it should be at the right side of this. So I'm just going to remove these constraints from text view and append this image view to the right side of it. And just add this text view here. Perfect. So now we have our layout ready. Now we need to give some IDs to the image views. For example, I'm going to give it user image, and it is going to be message. So I'm going to give it user message. So I'm going to give the same to the chat row left. User message and user image. And now if we go to the adapter, now we need to have one text view only, and that is going to be user message, and the other image user profile pic is absolutely fine. And just change this to perfect. So we have designed it. Now we need to have another function that is called get view type, item view type. So it will return the type of the item. So we need to get some information from our firebase auth. So what I can do is firebase auth dot get instance dot get current user dot get uid dot equals the uid that is been given to us from messages dot get position dot get sender. So I'm going to get sender. If this id equals sender means this is sender, so I need to return it 1, else I will return 0. Okay, so if get item view type returns is equal to 1, then what we can do is just add this stuff in, make it user message, and it is going to be chat dot message, and it is going to be, if this is the sender, then that's going to be the row, right? And we don't want to be image to be displayed, so I'm going to make its visibility gone. So now if it's the chat adapter. So if this returns 1, that means that this is the sender, so we don't need image in that case. So I'm going to just comment that out, else that's the receiver, so we need to display the image of sender. it is going to be chat dot. So we need to get that particular user image, so we need to have here something called profile pic URL. In order to get that particular user URL, I'm going to have firebase database dot get instance dot get reference to chats, sorry, to users, and from users dot child is going to be this ID of the sender. So I'm going to give here chat dot sender, and from that ID I want to fetch the image URL. So I'm going to make it, let me check what's that here. If I go to there, it's profile pic URL, so I'm going to give it profile pic URL dot add value event listener, new on value event listener, sorry, value event listener. If this is successful, it will return me the image URL, so I can get that by just and set it over there. Chat, sorry, I can set it data snapshot dot value, and holder needs to be final in order to get inside this. So that's it for the adapter. Now we need to go to our message activity, and we need to create another function, get messages, and we need to pass a user object to it, or we can pass three things, but let's go with user object. So it's going to be public void get messages. So I'm going to create reference to database reference is equal to firebase database dot get reference to users, sorry, chats, and from chats what I want is reference dot add value event listener. Okay, so we need to have all the chats, but we need only chats that's either only the messages that's either belong to the sender or those belong to the receiver. So let's have a loop here, for each loop data snapshot, and make it ds, and from data snapshot array list, and it's going to be dot get children. Perfect. So its children is going to be of type chat, so I'm going to make it chat ds dot get value, and we need to pass it chat dot class, sorry, it's message dot class, and we need to change it to message. Perfect. So now we have the chat. Now we need to check it if it belongs to sender or receiver. It should belong to either sender or receiver. So I'm going to check it. If chat dot sender dot equals user dot id, and it needs to be final as well. or chat dot receiver dot equals to user ID. So then we need to get all those messages. So we have got the chat. We need to add this to our array list. I'm going to create an array list here. Message array list of type message, and it's going to be messages, and let's assign some value to it, some memory to it. So let's just add these chats to it, and now on this completion we need to get the adapter ready, and our adapter is chat adapter get application context comma, we need to get the array list, that is messages array list, and then we have a recycler view. Let's get the recycler view here. It was chat recycler view, maybe. Messages recycler view. So it's going to be messages recycler view, and we need to set some parameters to it. Recycler view dot set layout manager, new linear layout manager, get application context. So that's now we need to attach adapter to this array list. So we can do that by just recycler view dot set adapter, and it's going to be chat adapter. So now we need to call this get messages function whenever we are getting the user information. So we can just pass here get user info, and we need to pass it the user, sorry, it's actually the function is get messages, so we need to pass it the user, perfect. Let me check if something is wrong. I think there should be RID, so we can do that is firebase firebase auth dot get current user dot get UID. There should be RID, and there we can make it string user ID. Perfect. So I think we are done. So let's just run it. We have some errors. SRC not found. if I go to my drawable folder, oh sorry, it was Android SRC, it is not app SRC, so that's the problem here. Other one is inside there where it's going to be if I go to this one, it's going to be user image. Now this one here is Android SRC. So let's just run it again. Still there are two errors. What are those? White is incompatible, so this needs to be at right color. This needs to be something like this, and in the left one also, right one also, it's going to be inside the left one color. The text color should be black. The reason for that is because its background is white, so it needs to be black to get visible. So just run it. Let me select Ali from here. Oh, the app stopped working. Let's check what's the error here. Oh, we need to have a no argument structure inside our chat, inside our message class here. Public message. Now run it again. When we are receiving information from Firebase, we need to have a no argument constructor, and we need to have some public variables to get information. It again just crashed. Attempt to invoke virtual message dot set text on null view object. Holder was null, so I think I cannot make it final. So what I can do is I can have a view here, final view is equal to holder dot user profile pic, and we can have here view. needs to be image view. Now just run it. Again crashed. Let's see now what's wrong. User message is null. Why that's null? Let's check this one. It's user message, dear, not use message, and that's why it was not displaying the background color. So it's not displaying good. Again crashed. Still there is a problem. Still the same problem persists. User message. There is user message. It is again user message. So why it is not getting the view? Chat adapter.view holder. Let's just change its name to holder. Okay, so I realized my mistake by just changing the name. The mistake was that we haven't changed this function. So we need to actually make this change here also. But the other thing is we can just go with this one. And here we need to check that if this is right or left. So we need to inflate the same accordingly. If this is right, so this is going to be, and this is not user row, this should be chat row right, else it should be chat row left, and this view should be outside of it. Alright, so this should be holder. So now it seems alright. Now just run it again. Okay, so it has perfectly given us the message that this is message. Sorry for that. We need to set this image only if the view type is for the left one is equal to 0, then we will set this. We don't need to set it for the right side, so I think that's the problem maybe. Because we have visibility gone in the right side, so that's kind of a null view. Perfect. So if I can send another message, message sent. Oh, there is a lot of difference between these two messages, so that's another error here, and that was we didn't change its height to wrap content. So again I'm going to go to the right side, and in the right side in the left side just go to left side and change one thing, and that's actually no, we don't need to change anything. And if I go to right side, we need to make it again wrap content, so now it will look fine. And another thing is that we don't need to show toast when the message is sent, because it will be now visible. So it is inside messages activity, just go to, just remove this. And just add a failure listener dot add on failure listener, that we should at least know that if message is failed. Make a toast here and just say that we fail to send message. So now just run it again. Okay, so now you can see that we have multiple messages. Let me send others. If you can see that it's a third message, but there is a repetition, so how can we remove that? Just go to chat and just Before on data chain, just clear your array list that was inside get messages. Message array list dot clear. This should be outside this for loop. Run it again. So now go to contacts. Go to some user and just add the fourth one here. And you can see, we can see the fourth message. Let's add the fifth. Okay, so now we need to check that if we are receiving these message, the other user is receiving Ali is receiving these messages or not. So how can we see that? We need to log in as Ali. But the problem is we haven't implemented sign out yet. So we need to sign in with other user phone number and ID. So we will do this in the next video. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you are now excited about this course and your excitement level is increasing because you are building some real apps. So that's it for this video.